The Boys can't possibly end in a satisfying way. Episode 7 has convinced me that the writers really don't care about pleasing the fans, crafting a satisfying ending, or even fulfilling character arcs headed into The Boys finale. I did plan on making a prediction or breakdown type video from the final trailer we were shown, but at this point, like many characters in the show, my motivation is nowhere to be found. But I do want to highlight just how awful this season has been and how there is no possible way the ending for Homelander or Soldier Boy will be satisfying. Many people will just be huffing insane amounts of copium, but anybody who uses their brain to watch this show is not going to be okay with the finale. So, let's start with Homelander. Homelander will go crazy in the finale, likely murdering people in his inner circle, as well as lots of innocent civilians who don't believe he's God. He was always going to go crazy, and this was always going to happen. That's the arc they had written from the first season for him. But none of this is going to feel convincing or have the impact that it might have, given how inept he's been at almost every point of this season. He doesn't really have a great master plan other than convincing people he's God and purging the people who don't accept it. He's pussyfooting around people close to him that he would absolutely obliterate in a second had they done these things or said these things a couple seasons ago. Every time he's in pursuit of the Boys or the V1, somebody manages to get one over on him, or he conveniently is the last person to get there, and still he ends up getting the V1. More on this in the Soldier Boy section of the video. There are so many moments he's within reach of the Boys or so close behind them, but they manage to escape like it's nothing. At the end of episode 6, they're within viewing distance of Homelander, as he basically upgrades himself with the V1 to have stronger powers. All of the Boys are terrified, and it ends with Butcher literally saying run. Yet we pick up the next episode, conveniently everybody gets away safely, and Homelander didn't notice a fucking thing. They've had plenty of time this season to put scenes in of Homelander truly going crazy, but everything is rushed in this season. It feels like there's been no time to really flush out his tipping point, and now it's just going to happen in the last hour of the show. No time to build that up properly, but plenty of time to waste scenes for just gratuitous nonsense. They haven't managed to convince anybody of things they established from the first season about Homelander. The comedian streamer Limmy spoke about the show recently and made a really good point that I agree with, and most of you probably will.
With him, with this God thing, it's, you just don't get I don't get the feeling that this character really does think he's God. It's all done in a kind of like, it's just not believable. He's just not selling it. They've not sold it. It's just like the writing or the directing that they've forgot. You've got to make it look like he really actually thinks that, and it's meant to be kind of amusing for us and mental for us, but it's no kind of mental for him. He's got to look like he really does fucking think it. And he was previously somebody who didn't think he was God. Now he does, so you can't just act like he's going like that. Not Son of God. God. Like that, kind of talking like that. Because you're the Son of God, you're second coming. Not second coming. I'm God, like that. You wouldn't be like that if you actually thought you were fucking God. You wouldn't be like that if you'd lost the plot and thought you were God. You just wouldn't do that. They just don't fucking get it. They just don't fucking get it.
No, they don't get it, but Limmy and a lot of us do. Homelander does not come off like he is some malevolent god. Other than killing the president, he still hasn't really done anything to convince me that he really believes, or that he is mentally unhinged. The whole point of an actor portraying a character is to convince you of something, to convince you of their actions or their mental state. But Homelander does none of this, whereas he absolutely did before. He was terrifying before. There is a reason people hold him up as one of the greatest villains ever created on TV. Because he is. Well, he was. They've spent less time convincing us that he is this super powerful, malevolent person, and more time convincing us that he's just still a man-child with mummy and daddy issues. I'm not saying don't have these scenes where you show that. That's always been Homelander. But you just haven't done enough convincing that he's about to go scorched earth on people. All of it feels rushed and fake. All because these stupid Hollywood writers, they think when you're given this platform to write a show or create a show, that you have to speak out about every issue that concerns people politically or socially, and all of the things that you establish previously that people care about just completely slips away. And that's what's happened to this show, unfortunately. But tangent aside, back to Homelander, he is, all things considered, pretty calm about a lot of things in this season. When personally, I wanted him increasingly getting more deranged with every episode, but we just haven't got that. Even in episode 7, when Frenchie dies, people's reactions to this were either saying how completely lame the whole scene was, while others were totally defending the show in this moment, coming up with stupid theories of how Homelander had lasered his dick off and other bullshit. I did make a video where I said I do think this was all really fucking stupid. And to confirm that it was in fact fucking stupid, they posted online explaining that Homelander stabbed or lasered Frenchie in the stomach and posted this picture with it. Why not show us this in the fucking scene? It's like at this point, they want us to know how bad they are at making their own fucking show. Eric Kripke has said online that he thinks fans will have a bad reaction and he's worried about the finale of this show. Well, why are you doing shit like this? Essentially just confirming, yes, this finale will be a disaster. You could have used all of this to convince us that he truly has gone off the deep end. Not that you even needed to do that. He would have killed Frenchie by blasting his face open with lasers any time previously in the series. You just didn't want to do that for some reason. It probably would have even been better for you to just shut the fuck up and have it look like Frenchie kind of went out in this noble, falling on his own sword kind of way. Posting something like this retroactively, making it so that Homelander was directly involved in killing him, but in a really weak kind of way, makes him look really weak. Why do you not get this? They overall with Homelander, in my opinion, are doing a terrible job of convincing me that Homelander has gone final boss and is about to destroy everybody. People may die and that might happen, but I'm not going to be convinced of it. Because nothing from Homelander this season has had impact for me. Soldier Boy. They've completely ruined the character. His motivations and actions are all over the place, and if reports are true that we won't even see him in the finale, what the fuck was the point of doing anything with him in this final season, other than to be a delivery device for the V1 to Homelander? Why did we see this struggle with him and Homelander and Stormfront Liberty if it was all just to make Soldier Boy want to give him the V1? Why was he in this season as much as Homelander if you did nothing with him other than just this bullshit? If this was an attempt to get people on board for the spin-off, you've done a really shit job. Jensen Ackles has been good and his scenes have carried a lot of this show, but why would I be invested in a character that you've built up as this betrayed former Homelander, the number one suit, just to have him in the end side with Homelander because of their shared Eskimo brother connection to Stormfront. A character that you never established Soldier Boy was in love with in any way before this season. This assures me that when it comes to Vought Rising, you will retroactively step over things you've previously established with the character, or find some really weak, unconvincing way of forcing it to be the case. If we don't see him in the finale, or if we do and he just does nothing, why would I be invested in the character in another series? You've essentially confirmed that the boys have found their way out through Kamiko replicating his powers, which is totally fucking stupid. So if he wasn't here to depower Homelander, and he wasn't going to have some revelation and turn against him in any real way other than fucking off to do coke for eternity, he never gets revenge against Vought for using him, other than maybe through Homelander in a way, but never directly gets revenge. He just ends his story helping Homelander, who you keep telling us he loves and hates, just to get choked out in a moment of blinding stupidity. What's the point in all of this? I really don't think we'll get a satisfying ending for either of these characters, or that any of it will truly be convincing. I think there will be some satisfying scenes and conclusions in the finale, but not for these two.